Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crypto nerds of all ages, have we got something special for you today? Recently, it was a very unfortunate event. We had algo turtles that basically rug pulled. They just disappeared overnight, and it was heartbreaking. Well, the creator, the artist behind that project is live with us today. We're going to ask him some tough questions. We're going to see what's next. He has chosen to remain in the Algorand community, which is an interesting choice. Let's see what he has in mind for a comeback here and why he wants you to trust him again. All right, D, welcome to the channel, D. I appreciate you taking some time. I know it's very early for you where you're located right now. Did I do you justice in the intro there? You are the artist for the now defunct project AlgoTurtles, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, got it. Now, I know everybody's, some people are aware of the situation and some people are not. I think before we jump into you, we should probably just jump into and just directly jump into the elephant or the turtle in the room and say, okay, what was that project? What was your involvement in it? And then let's dive in a little bit about who you are as an artist and, what we can do moving forward and how we're going to move forward from this.
Yeah, well, AlgoTurtle started with the two of us. Mr. Bababu, the project manager, reached out to me and asked me to basically draw for an NFT project, which was
this
at
was
that
over
time
Twitter or Discord, or where did that first exchange happen?
in Facebook.
Facebook. Okay, got it. All right. So social media, somebody reached out. You did not know this person prior to that, or did you?
I do. Yeah, we were basically office mates before. We were colleagues.
Okay, interesting. All right, keep going. We'll have some follow-up questions for that, I'm sure, but keep going.
All right. So yeah, he asked me to be an artist of an NFT project, and at first I didn't really worry too much about it because I have a lot of stuff going in real life. And then there was this one time that I just decided to, um, you know, dive into the project, research more about NFTs and stuff, and then we get to the part wherein we plan the whole project. So we decided for it to be a turtle. It was there are a lot of a lot of stuff. Reason why it was a turtle. Maybe it's gonna be for the entire interview, but I'll just park it for now. But yeah, eventually we are about to launch a project, and then we added two more guys who will take care of the community as a community manager, as well as someone who will focus on the website. So that's how basically AlgoTurtles was born.
Got it. Okay, so somebody that you knew, somebody you had worked with previously, reached out, and then it sounds like you got two more guys involved. One was a community manager. Was the other one sort of community or marketing as well? What was that other person's role again?
Yeah, he's basically the website developer.
Website developer. Okay. Now, did those two guys? Did you know them prior, or no? They knew your other partner.
Yeah, they do. I was only acquainted to one, but the other two I've never known them before.
Okay, so you're the artist. How many NFTs were actually created? How many designs did you create?
For turtles, that's 270. 198. Yeah, okay. 198 for the main collection, and I think 71 or 72, around 270 to 71 in total.
Okay, I saw your other post. You said you were saving one to be number 73 or something like that, and he was obviously still in your laptop, right. In your software there, still hadn't gotten to the minting stage. So, all right, so 200 and some odd of these NFTs were created. Now, your website designer, what was the goal? What was the community like for Algo Turtles? What benefits do the NFT holders have?
Well, the roadmap that we had ever since is divided into three phases.
Hmm.
So the first one is essentially selling NFTs that involves the main collection, the cosplay collection, and the
Right.
pixel collection.
Hmm.
The second phase would be launching the ASA, as since from the start we are really planning that. And when we are looking for a solid utility for our ASA, we decided that the phase three would be launching an NFT online shop. So it's basically RAND NFT, AlgoX NFT, the likes.
Got it.
So yeah, that's it.
Okay. So there was going to be an ASA. It sounds like there was some community, I don't know, events, or there was a website. So there must have been some other utility there. Maybe for otherwise there'd be no reason for an ASA to be
Right.
created. So you had some kind of a turtle coin that was in the
Yeah.
works, and some of these NFTs were selling for hundreds of algos. I think I saw a couple sell for over 1,000, right?
Um, our ATH is actually 1,000 even.
It was
So it
okay.
was yeah, it was the giraffe collab.
Got it. All right. So a lot of significant amount of algo dumped into this.
It is, yeah. It,
So
it's I'm happy and sad at the same time.
when these guys, decided to just shut down the project, they clearly didn't loop you into their plans because you're still here, still vocal in the community, and agreed to come on here and be on camera and say, "Yep, that was my project. Sorry." Um, what's going through your brain as these guys decide to just scamper off with whatever funds were raised there?
So what happened that day is, I just woke up. It was, I think, early morning at that time
Hmm.
here. And then we don't usually talk that much recently, simply because I'm super busy in real life.
Right.
They're also busy on working with the ASAC. So, but there's this one time that I woke up that I saw the group chat and I don't really understand what's going on. They're just saying that, hey, I think we should, move forward and uh, think for another project because you know, uh, we'll be shutting down the, Algo Turtles and Discord and Twitter. And I don't really, I don't really understand what's happening. And then I jumped into Twitter and I saw this tons and tons of tweets about Algo Turtles that we never had before.
Hmm.
Um, saying we rugged, and I told myself, no, we didn't. What's happening? And then um, I took the entire day to really understand, because when I reached out to the guys, I didn't really hear from them until a day or two. Um, and then it slowly singing to me that someone messed up, and then I found out about the ASA scams and all.
Right.
I tried to reach out to the main guy, and I didn't really hear anything from them. And then so I just decided to reach out to the current holders, because at that point I really felt alone,
Hmm.
and I don't really know what to do. So
Were
and
you in the block space prior to this at all?
no,
No. So this is your first foray into blockchain and NFTs.
right.
Okay. You are an artist by trade, I take it, because this person knew that you were, able to produce these works, right?
Not really. In real life, I'm an office guy, so uh, yeah, I work in a, um, how do I say this? I work in a financial market, something like that.
Okay.
So I basically work in an app.
Hmm.
Uh,
Got it.
so I just do art, if uh, on the side, basically, because the reason behind it is that I don't, whenever I don't want to draw, I don't want to paint, I just cannot. So I just made sure that I'm I, I will never gonna be full time in doing art.
Hmm. Your work was good. I mean, it seems like it could have been like a in the tattoo industry or comic books or some kind of graphic design works. At some point, something along those lines. So, I mean, that
Yeah.
speaks volumes. So clearly, though, these guys disappeared. Do you think that's a crime? Do you think a crime has been committed?
It, that's 100% true. I mean, I've heard there's $4,000 in question on over 60 ASA. I mean, I cannot really imagine how he was able to do that in a very short span of time. Maybe I just did not understand it. Maybe it was happening for a long time, but
Mm-hmm.
60 ASA is a lot of work for that little money. I didn't even know how he does that, but at the end of the day, there are people who felt like um, you know, they were betrayed by someone.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, it is a crime. I mean, if it happened to me, if it happened to anyone, definitely I'll be upset.
Yeah. So, but these are people that you know. I mean, has any law enforcement or anybody of any authority reached out? Typically, NFTs aren't a business entity. Let's be honest. It's just in the United States we would call it a DBA or a sole proprietorship. No special licensing needed. I suspect
Right.
that was the case for you and your colleagues there as well. Was there any legal entity set up?
No, not yet. Because to be honest, it's always gonna be 3 to 1. I'm also scared about my security here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at this point, I just want to move on. I mean, if there are people from that Asa Rugs reach out to me, that's something that we can do. But if it only involves me and what they owed me, something like that can still be earned. I mean, I can still earn it selling NFTs. I can earn it in real life, but if it will cost me my security, my daughter's security, my family security, it's something that I'm really thinking twice about.
Right.
But I've been reaching out to the whistleblower, read it to me. Not sure how to pronounce it. He's the one who basically spoiled everything, and we've been in contact lately. And I was asking him, what are we gonna do with the information that we have? So,
Mm-hmm.
but if something came up, then definitely, I got not really all the information, but I got essential information that the people have, and anytime I can I can release it if it's needed.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, it's not a small amount, and the internet will find out. There are people in the Algorand and blockchain world who are pretty good at super sleuthing on the internet, finding addresses and working backwards to find locations and IP addresses and things like that. It's amazing what work they can do. Um, and so even this person, that they thought they covered their tracks, but they didn't. Um, you know, it, it's just amazing to me that people think they can get away with something like that. I mean, just this project alone, there's probably a couple $100,000 worth of, US dollars worth of product that was sold with the promise of, future activities and ongoing projects, and then to just shut it all down like that is very disheartening.
Right.
But you're still here, and so a lot of us are confused. We're like, well, what the heck is this D guy doing? Like, he didn't disappear like everybody else. I mean, do you have some plan? Are you going to try and make people whole with the algo turtles? Or are you going to let them swap them out for another project that you're doing? Or what is your plan moving forward?
Well, the reason I'm here is because I'm not part of the scam. I mean, my conscience is clean, and I really want what I'm doing here. Um, we don't have that much bond for me just to throw it all away
Mm-hmm.
and then, join them elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, when I tried to resurrect Algo Turtles, basically, I reached out to some guys who helped me reach out to NFT Explorer because I think that's the first thing that I should do. And then they said, unfortunately, if I don't have access to wallets and stuff,
Right.
then what will happen is if I'm gonna remint, essentially there's gonna be two Algo Turtles
Mm-hmm.
floating in the ecosystem. So, um, and the reason why I thought of that was because my concern is the holders and how much they paid for those pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, if the issues is gonna be as major as the NFTs not being unique, which defeats the purpose,
Right.
then we just decided to create a new project entirely. And the guys are just, really, I'm just happy that I'm in the right community. The holders are very understandable. There's telling me not to rush things, and we're really collaborating on uh, what animal to to create, what's gonna be the next utilities and stuff. We're even talking about um, donations and some NFTs that they have that they can donate to the project and things like that. So I'm just overwhelmed with
Mm-hmm.
the help that I'm getting, to be honest.
Interesting. Well, I would be willing to extend some additional help your way if you are at all interested. All of our partners have to get background check verification, so we use an international business background checker, the same one you would use if you were like a virtual assistant, or if you worked for a large conglomerate or something along those lines. So we pay a company to do that. And then I wouldn't want any of the profits, but we would be happy to collaborate in some way, shape, or form, just to give you a basis, like somebody who's been around in the industry for a while. I would ask that maybe if you could create it so that it was on our marketplace and they could buy with NURD, or maybe some NURD holders had access or something along those lines. But you'd have to swap out ASAs for all of the people that got involved, or do something and have a solid plan to make it right for those people. And I'm not 100% sure, like, how do you create a new project and guarantee that it's going to be as successful as the old one? That's difficult to do. Um, but I think it would be interesting, and you probably have a few different offers there, but I'd be more than willing to extend that olive branch and say, hey, you can use our platform, and if you offered something for our holders as well, we could work something out there. It's very interesting to me that you have chosen to stick around the space and decide, hey, not only am I going to stick around, but I want to do something to try and help make it right. That is unusual. It's got to feel very, I don't know, very, very, very disheartening that somebody that you knew personally did this, and you're stuck holding the bag. In essence, you're saying you're going to do a ton more work and not get paid for it because basically it's just replacing work that you've already done before. And so it's going to take you a little while to build out of that hole, I think. to where
Correct.
everybody is made whole again, and then you start making maybe a little bit of money on your artwork again, because it is being sold. But you don't want the royalties for Algo Turtles to keep getting paid to those guys. So you
Right.
definitely want to get those Algo Turtles like off the markets,
Correct.
so that they're not being exchanged anymore. So in my opinion, like you've got to do some kind of a swap so people turn those things in and
Correct.
agree to get them off the marketplace.
hmm So when I reached out to NFT Explorer, they offered to have a banner, like a caution banner,
Yeah.
on the Algo Turtles project, which I think it's a good idea. So people don't have to, I mean, won't have to trade them. Also, Rand and AlgoX NFT have also delisted the project, so it's also a good thing.
Yeah.
I just don't want anything to do with turtles at the moment. In fact, the new project that we are doing is really trying to move away from a turtle NFT.
Yeah. You got to
So
get far
we're
away from that.
right, right. We're doing a lot of stuff right now, and you're
What, what
right.
what kind of ideas are you throwing out there right now? Just out of curiosity, what's been tossed out in your Discord channel?
Right now, the most feasible would be a humanoid fish, because we're
Hmm.
trying to we're trying to stay within the aquatic environment, because I still want to, do charities involving ocean conservation, because I
Hmm.
think that's something also important. Um, we are also trying to create a pheasant, a bird,
Okay.
called, but there are a lot of suggestions from the holders. So maybe in the future we'll find something. We're not rushing it though. So because you're correct, it's gonna be hard for me to reestablish from the ground up again, and
Really hard.
I spend like almost 6 months in Algo Turtles, and I'm just gonna
And that
basically
project started in like November, December, I think, right?
right.
That was a
Project
really long
launched
time.
November, right?
Yeah.
So I'm basically gonna redo all the work without getting paid. Some some holders offered to donate, but I I don't really want to cash grab at the moment, because I know that's something that I want to make things right first, before at least earning, hopefully in the future. So it's something that I don't mind doing anyways.
So let me ask you, how do we know that you're not secretly the mastermind behind all of this? Right? How do we know that you're not just, you come on and it's this big facade that, oh, I'm sorry, these guys did this, but trust me again. Go ahead, I'll make this new project, and then it's another 6 months, and you make another couple $100,000, and then you just disappear. How do we know that's not what you're gonna do?
First of all, I Algo Turtles have less than 50,000 in the bag.
Yeah, right.
And if I if you are correct, then I'm probably the greatest con artist there is, right? Um, Maybe the holders that we have
Hmm.
in Algo Turtles can testify all the conversations that we had, all the interactions that I had with them,
Hmm.
really proves that Mr. Bababu and me are two different person.
Hmm.
We've had a lot of issues in Algo Turtles, and we both always have different views on things. And the people whom I interacted with for the past 6 7 months can can know the difference.
Right.
One of the holders was asking me, uh, since from the time of the incident, how do we know that you're the artist? Because with everything that's going on, we cannot trust anyone,
Yeah.
and that's understandable. So I told him, why don't you grab a camera? I'll go online. I'll whip you some algo turtles just to prove that I'm doing the art. And I've been doing live streams for algo turtles just to prove I'm a real person, just to prove that we're not copying anything. So I think that's something that we're really I'm really trying to do ever since, is to be genuine with everyone. Um, I've also reached out to KryptoNurd for doxing and all that stuff, because at the end of the day, I just realized that I got nothing to hide.
Thank you for
I
doing that, by the way. So, Citrus Pebbles handles that program for us. She reached out. I think she got the first steps in place for you.
Correct.
So that's nice to see. So we appreciate that. And that service, for everybody who's watching, it's a third party service. So you would go in, submit your information, get verification, and then you release those results to us. None of your personal information is held on our servers. It's all on a bonded third party. We have access in case of an emergency or something along those lines, and we only have one point of contact who has access to that. So that's really kind of controlled. But so that is a little bit of a little bit of comfort there. So let me ask you this: why not just throw your so-called friend under the bus? Why not just release his or her information out to the public and say, here's who they are. Here's their Facebook. Here's who they are. They're the ones that took your $50,000 or whatever that dollar amount is. Go get them.
Yeah, as I've mentioned before, I'm also concerned about security. I have a kid. If that's something that the doubters would probably don't understand, is that if I know them, then they also know me and where I live, where my kid is. That those stuffs that uh, I cannot just risk it. Plus, um, I've been trying to keep it to myself and to the whistleblower all the information, and just trying to share it with the stakeholders, basically,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want people who just want to join the fray do it. Some of my holders already know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Some, because I've
So
I
some of your community already know who the other three party members are.
correct.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm not publicizing it, because people, other people who just wants a piece of it, mm, it doesn't really concern them, I feel like. So
Yeah.
I just communicate with those who lost their money, who invested in algo turtles and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, those NFTs are, value wise, almost worth nothing now because it's red flagged, right? As you said earlier, on
Correct.
basically every platform or delisted. So you might be able to find some private buyers for it, but they essentially lost their value overnight.
Correct.
So a lot of TVL, I guess, in the value of those is gone, and that number is pretty high when you think about it, right? If
It
every one
is.
of those was worth, what was the average sale price? You think?
I mean, the last time I saw it, it was a little over 100. When we were around February, it was 300 Ago
Yeah,
floor price. So yeah, it costs a lot of money to someone who bought it.
yeah, and there were 200 and how many again? 270.
That's 270.
Yeah, that's a lot of units that were out there.
Right.
Okay. So it's still a bit of a leap of faith, but you're trying to take steps. You've agreed to do the doxing service with us, and obviously you're coming on the channel and you're kind of putting yourself out there in a limited capacity, primarily for safety. It seems like. I think once you complete that dox service, I think it will add a little measure of comfort for folks. Even that's probably not foolproof, I guess, but it seems like, unless the project was in the millions or something, you wouldn't risk that. It seems like a relatively low dollar amount. So you're reconnecting with the community. You have a new Discord channel.
It's just temporary. It's only for those current holders and people who reached out and offered their help. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just a really small number. In the future, if the project comes online again, then we'll be creating another one, the
Mm-hmm.
official Discord, I guess.
Yeah. Now, just then you said if. Is there a chance that you end up not doing something?
No, it will all be based on the holders. Definitely, I'm 100% onboarded with the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we can't say for sure. I mean, we could go on a different route, but definitely they're confident in building an artwork NFT with me doing all the art, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm 100% onboarded on that. I might be wrong with saying May, but yeah, it's gonna happen
Have
for
they
sure.
tossed around the idea of creating it as a DAO or something that includes your current holders? Like they could exchange the NFT for a share of the project itself overall?
That's a good idea, actually. We haven't been discussing DAO yet. I know it was discussed before with AlgoTurtles, and they disagreed, but it's not a bad idea to open it up now.
Clearly they
Yeah,
did, right? Yeah, no,
right,
no doubt they disagreed with that idea. They
right,
probably didn't want a multi-sig wallet or anything else like that. But
correct.
okay, so did you personally get a fair amount of profit from the Algo Turtles? Were they cutting you in
Um,
on things from the beginning?
no, and that's that's another sad part of that is um I think 2 days after the rug or 3 days after the I cannot say, but uh they gave me 1,200 algo for the trouble, and I was just I was super mad.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been better if they didn't give me anything. It's just that it was less from what we agreed, and um there was this uh thing that I also got mad on, and it happened from the very beginning. Remember that we are four guys, right, doing
Mm-hmm.
tasks on an equal level, supposedly. So what happened was our community manager is not exactly a community manager. He was really something of a freeloader, not doing anything for the project. And that pisses me off because I've been doing more than 50% of the task um, that's been going on, and this guy not doing anything, just thinking about what's next for Algo Turtles is not gonna cut it. I mean, to think of it, I'm being robbed of that share for uh, since the start. And if you've been into the Discord channel, you'll realize why that happened. But for me, I just find it unfair, and you know, uh, it, it's essentially stealing as well, at least on my part.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, time and effort. Somebody's stolen that, and you can't get it back.
Right, right, correct.
All right. So we've been going for about a half an hour here. You've shared a lot of detail here. I appreciate you hopping on and giving us your side of the story and explaining things. And hopefully the community will take a look at this and make their decisions and figure out what's your next project. And if you need help making it right, feel free to reach out to myself or my team here, and we'll try and point you in the right direction as far as the community is concerned. But I think you've got quite a few people in your current Discord and circle right now as well. But I mean, I applaud you for at least trying to stick around and make things right, and agreeing to get docs in the back end, and really kind of on surface level anyway, it looks like you're trying to make this right. I'm still on the fence, quite frankly, about their involvement there, and what you should do with that information and who's involved, and was there a crime, serial scam like that. It probably is a criminal offense at some level, and you clearly know who those folks are. What's your obligation to turn them in? I don't know. I would struggle with that as well. I've got a family. I've got 4 kids. I don't know. I think sooner rather than later, probably that decision is going to get made for you, but we'll see. Before we go,
you're right.
anything else you'd like to get out to the community as far as updates go, so that they can figure out what to do and where to watch what you're doing next?
I don't have any updates right now. Only the fact that we're creating a new project, and I hope Algo fam is ready for that. Maybe I just want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who reached out. Also, KryptoNurd, who I didn't really expect that you guys are um, really updated on what happened. When I reached out to you guys, it was just to be doxxed and that stuff, and I didn't expect an interview like this. And people like you and people like the holders that I currently have right now is, are the reason why I didn't left the space. It's because I really enjoyed staying here, and even though before that we don't we talk without faces, I feel like I've known everyone for so long. So
Yeah, you spent 6
and
months
that
in that community, getting to know
right,
everybody in chat formation. Yeah.
correct. And there are times that you wake up, you jump into the Discord right away and see what everyone's going. It's something that cannot be paid, to be honest. And in the event that, let's say, um, I don't push through with another project, I'd still stay here in Algorand, and try to create another environment that's more relaxed and more chill, maybe, and less bullshit, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, fair enough. I appreciate you coming on the show. Hang on after the break here. I'll wrap it up, and we'll see what's next for you. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thanks again. And there you have it, everybody. So our today's show was really touching base with the artist for AlgoTurtles, but so much was discussed. And I, for one, I'm amazed that he has stayed in the community. I think it really speaks volumes. And, you've got to take a leap of faith, I think, at some point in time and figure out, okay, is this the mastermind of the rug pull of the scam? Or is this just a really nice guy trying to do the right thing who has some really cool artistic skills and wants to be a part of the community? I think that, a second chance is probably warranted in this case, especially since he's agreed to do some of the doxing behind the scenes. He's not quite ready to release all that information, families, security, that sort of thing. But I will have that information, assuming he goes through the process and releases all of that information. So there you have it. Do your own research as always, but that was the artist behind the project known as AlgoTurtles, who recently rugged. Reach out if you got any other questions or any other information, any other topics you want us to cover. The KryptoNurd team is here for you. So thank you as always. I am your Crypto Nerd.